Hey everyone, we got number 213 of 250 for the 2025 season of Hot Wheels. It is the Lotus Cortina. I am not sure if they've ever, well, I'm not a big Hot Wheels collector, so leave a comment if they've ever done a Cortina before. But to me, it's new. We'll compare it to some photos later, and because I'm going to do a wheel swap on this thing. Alright, well, looking at this paint, it's looking actually quite nice here on the side. It's actually quite smooth. It's impressive. It's like an off-white color, I would say. And then you have this fine printing going on down the side here. It's tampo print, paint that is. So it's like a greenish color, dark, I guess an olive color with a very light, perhaps yellow color. And that says Team Lotus right there. And then you'll see the door handle is painted silver, or perhaps it's just the original color of the body. Maybe that's what it is. Anyhow, excuse me, a little bit of a break there. Coughing. Anywho, a little bit of a break here. I'm not sure why, but the green continues back here, and so there's also one of those traditional Lotus triangular badges there back there. So that looks pretty nice. There's a number 71 as if it's going racing. I like the idea that there's no window there, so you can see into it nice and easy. And then no tampos on the front end of this, just round headlights, some turn signal bulges. Good texture in the grille though, and including that little, I assume that's the Lotus badge. And then some recesses here, you could add some black into that possibly. And then here we do have some paint. Oh, that's actually printing, I think. Let me zoom in here. What does that say? You'd think it'd say Cortina, but does that say console or something? What? C-O-N-S-E-L? Someone please leave a comment about that. Maybe that's the designer's name? Or is this a historic race car? I have no clue. Maybe we'll find out later when I pull up some pictures. Molded in windscreen wipers. They're a little bit short, I think, but better than having none at all. This actually has a cool side pipe coming out here. Very neat. This side is a little bit more, how would you say, rough on the painting there. Okay, but the tampos still look nice. These wheels, I guess, are okay. A little bit of maybe a lack of paint there, some sort of gouging or maybe some metal. So we have a dark olive plastic, raw plastic here of those triangular taillights, maybe a fuel filler, blank license plate area. There's a little lock for the trunk, a little bit of a, I don't know, extra paint. Ooh, boy, that is rough there. So that's unfortunate. And what the heck would this be for? It's just in the middle of the cut of the trunk. Please leave a comment on that, because that makes no sense also. Alright, the roof is okay, but yeah, you can see the casting is just not very good. Hot Wheels, just not really good, but they're not super expensive. And so if you buy this particular livery, you know, maybe it came out in 2025. Okay, some under leaf springs, I think, on that car. Well, let us go. Oh, wait, maybe we should look at the interior. Can't expect too much. Well, it's not quite a pizza pan, but at least you know, it's got some spokes in the steering wheel. A little hot dog shifter, armrest there, some ribbing in the seats, front and back. Interesting, the ribbing is different on the back seats. Maybe it's a bench seat in the back. No headrest, as you'll see from an old car like this. And the dashboard is pretty plain. Alright, so we'll come back. So here we are with what I think are probably mini light wheels. I just went off photos of the internet, and I 3D printed the tires separately from the wheels themselves. Just 4 lug nut holes, and then I added a little paint. I sanded this down just to make sure the paint would stick a little bit better, and then filled in those with some black paint, obviously, and up in here and there. And then the taillights are kind of a pain. I painted them all silver first, and then added the color on top of that. And then a little silver here. No license plate. And I also drilled out this a little bit, so makes it look a little bit more tubular. Oh, some silver on the door handles as well. Okay, So looking at some photos here, just found these as reference. Yeah, pretty sure those are mini light wheels. Not Watanabe F8s. Those are JDMs. So I think mini light, maybe those are British wheels. Watanabes are clearly Japanese. Yeah, it's got a rear light on this one. And this one's all raced out. Pretty cool. Alright. Not too many cars to show off. I really don't have anything like this. So from Hot Wheels, we have a BMW 2002, and I 3D printed wheels for that. This is one of those premiums, so it's got the cooler paint, but the weird pixelated colored graphics. Not a fan of that. And then another premium, the 959 Porsche. I still am waiting for a premium brand to tackle this. Kyosho is the only one that did, but it looks really weird, the Kyosho one. Ideally, someone needs to make a version of this road-going car in resin, and then possibly, ideally, this in resin as well, but I would be happy with a premium diecast of the car rally one. And my favorite Lotus, I think, is still probably the James Bond 007 kind of Lotus here, the Esprit. This is by Kyosho, so that's actually realistic, like in its scaling, 164. I believe Mini GT is probably coming out with this soon. I hope they make the one where it becomes a submarine. That would be neat. I'm not sure if I would need to buy the Mini GT one, because I'm pretty happy with Kyosho's. Oh, well, this has casted mirrors, so the Mini GT will be better, most likely with rubbery mirrors. In the long term, we don't know what's going to happen to those rubber mirrors, if they're going to crack off or not. I had my own license plate. So, yeah, pretty much none of these are going to be to scale, I'm pretty sure. I feel like a 2002 is going to be a much smaller car in real life than, say, a Cortina, but correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, let's move this over to the little solar coaster, see if it can still keep up spinning. So mainline Hot Wheels, pretty good one here. You know, the green printing around this whole thing is quite impressive. Nice text and all that stuff. And it turns out that is console, that text there. That's what I learned. Well, in fact, I didn't even speak about this car, so let me speak about it, because I'm never going to buy a premium diecast of this thing. So the console Cortina is powered by a 1.6 liter inline 4, making 105 horsepower. Has a close ratio gearbox that was used in the Lotus Elan. The rear suspension has coil spring dampers, and that replaced the standard leaf springs. It has lighter weight doors, bonnet and hood, as Lotus is all about adding lightness. And even the casings were fitted with lightweight casings to the gearbox and differential were lighter than usual. So this car, as pedestrian as it looks, it beat 3.8 liter Jaguars around racetracks and basically beat anything except for the 7 liter V8 Ford Galaxies. So yeah, so in a straight line, Galaxy would blow this away, but in the turns, so the 1.6 liter would take on 7 liter Giants. And later Ford Mustangs came along as well. And the car actually also did pretty well in rally racing, not only road racing. So that's all from Wikipedia. Take it with a grain of salt. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you the next time we modify Hot Wheels.